Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nenni & Associates Executive Search Channel. I'm Jim Schaefer, and we're focused here on providing you with exclusive content for improving your hiring, interviewing, and recruiting strategies. Now in today's video, we're going to go through a really simple concept of how to put in your 2 weeks notice. So let's get into it. All right, you've gone through the interview process. You're at the goal line, you finally come to terms on your next career opportunity, you sign on the dotted line, you say, all right, I'm all in, I'm making my career transition. So now, before your start date, you have to put in your 2 weeks notice, right? And depending on the relationship that you have with your existing manager, your existing boss, sometimes this can be a challenging situation. So what we wanted to do here is just walk through 3 really simple steps as a way to kind of frame up your process here when you're putting in your 2 weeks notice. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you got your mind right. And remember that you made up your mind. Start with the decision that you've already made. You have signed your name on the dotted line at this point, so that will help relieve some of the tension of putting in your 2 weeks notice, because this can be a challenging or tough situation, especially, again, like I mentioned before, if you do have a good relationship with your existing boss. But just remember, you made a commitment to your new employer, and make sure that you got the right frame of mind as you're going into this meeting. And of course, we have to contrast this with, I think sometimes candidates or employees will go into this meeting thinking, hey, they got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, kind of, sort of, maybe. I know I made a commitment to this other company, but maybe if the deal is good enough, maybe if my current employer is willing to sweeten the deal a little bit and increase my salary and give me a bigger title or more responsibility, or make sure they're going to make promises that are going to rectify all the challenges that I've been facing. Let's just see. Let's see what they come up with. This is not the right time for that. That's a conversation you should have had months ago before you started the interview process. So again, just remember that you've made up your mind, you're making a commitment, and you're moving forward. You're looking in the front windshield versus the rear view mirror. And just from a very pragmatic standpoint, we always recommend not putting in your 2 weeks notice until you've cleared all the hurdles with your current or your new employer, your future employer, such as drug screening, background checks, all the paperwork. Make sure everything's greenlit, 100% ready to go. The last thing you want to do is put in your 2 weeks notice and find out you didn't clear a background check, and then you're in a really tough situation. So just very pragmatically, make sure you're cleared 100% with all the paperwork with your new employer before you put in your 2 weeks notice. And the next piece is, don't get too emotional about it. I think sometimes candidates will look at this situation like, especially if their boss is a mentor, a leader, someone that they look up to, like, oh, this is going to be really difficult. I don't know how they're going to take this. I don't want to leave them in a bind. This is going to be so hard. I'm going to put them in this really poor position. You got to remember, if this person that you look up to, your boss, your mentor, your manager, or someone that you really respect and you believe, then this process becomes very simple, because if they really do value the relationship that you have, they'll be happy for you. If you tell them, which this should be, if you tell them that this is really the next step up for you professionally, financially, it's the right fit for me and my family, I really think this is the right move for me, they're going to respect that. They're going to want what's best for you. They're going to encourage you to make this move, to make this transition. So hopefully that can relieve some of the tension or the stress that you're anticipating going into this meeting. Just know if this is a relationship that you value, they're going to want what's best for you as well. And the last piece here is just very simply stating what your intention is. You let them know, hey, I'm accepting another position with another company. I've really appreciated everything I've learned here, and I can't wait to apply what I've learned in the next step of my career here. You don't have to go in and air grievances.
With the airing of grievances, I got a lot of problems with you people.
And say, oh, if you would have done this 6 months ago, or you didn't give me the raise that I was asking for, or I feel like I'm underpaid, felt like I was underpaid. Now's not the time to state any bad feelings that you have. Just make it real simple and make it as unemotional as possible. You just simply let your boss know you're accepting a new position and you're moving on. Then as you look to work the rest of the 2 weeks, if you do indeed work out the 2 weeks, some people are simply asked to leave, but if you are going to work out that 2 weeks, make sure that you leave this as your lasting impression with your previous coworkers and your current boss, because most industries are really tight-knit. You never want to burn a bridge. So make sure you're doing all the right things, you're tying everything off, you're handing off accounts, you're working those 2 weeks as if you would any other 2 weeks during your tenure there. So make sure that you're doing all the right things before you tie things off. That's probably the best possible way to maintain your reputation, maintain your credibility in the industry, because again, if you're thinking big picture, you're thinking long term, who knows when you're going to cross paths with these individuals later on in your career. All right, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you're getting value out of this content. And if you are, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share with a friend or a colleague. And until next time, I'm Jim Schaefer, and we'll catch you on the next video.